speaker today has been here before, but it's been 4 or 5 years at least. And her topic is so timely, I thought it would be great to hear from her again. She's going to be bringing us some great information. And she is with the Coastal Regional Commission of Georgia, Area Agency on Aging. That's quite a mouthful. And Tori Windsor Foisy is a case manager, and she has been for a while, so she's got lots of experience to share with us. And she's also brought some folders full of great information, and they are out on the table in the vestibule. And now I give you Tori Windsor Foisy.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. I have been doing this for 13 years. March will be 13 years. I've done case management for 9 of those years. And when I say AAA throughout this presentation, I mean the Area Agency on Aging, not the car place. So just so you know that, okay? Because it's a mouthful to say. So I'll do real quick. I'm going to try to stay on time here. Really fast. There's 12 AAAs in Georgia. We are the coastal AAA, so we serve the 9 counties. So we go from Camden all the way to Bullock. There is AAAs in every state across the nation. So if you have a loved one out of state, it would be a good place to start if you don't know where to start and how to help them. So before I get into, and I just thought Rocking the Ages was a good topic, but before I get into it, I'm going to tell you a story, so hopefully you can kind of see where we're coming from and what we do to help, and hopefully that'll help you remember. And obviously the story is true, but the pictures you're about to see are not them, and I have changed the names, just so you know. So this is the story of Rhett and Scarlett. So Rhett and Scarlett, they've known each other since they were kids, and they couldn't imagine life without each other. They got married when they were 19 years old, and they have now been married for 56 years. They bought a condo together over on St. Simon's about 54 years ago, and they enjoy playing cards on their back porch. They have 2 children, a son and a daughter. One lives in Colorado, one lives in California. And they often talk about their 6 grandchildren that they have between them. Now, their children do not visit often, about once a year, so they don't tell them what is going on because they don't want them to worry. Now, Rhett, he retired from the Navy, and Scarlett has always been a housewife. So they keep to themselves, they don't have many friends, and Scarlett has now become Rhett's primary caregiver. He is diagnosed with Parkinson's, diabetes, and he's been colorblind his entire life. She is in pretty good health. She has high blood pressure, but she feels as though she's managing well. Now, his Parkinson's has been deteriorating slowly for about 10 years, but they had a recent scare. So he was hospitalized for pneumonia, and it weakened him, and his Parkinson's moved into stage 3. So he's requiring more care, and although he can walk, his balance gets off. So he's afraid of falls because he thinks that falling and breaking a hip is a death sentence. Okay. He has always been independent and stubborn. He dresses himself, although his clothes don't always match. It's always been a problem because he's colorblind. And it's been increasingly difficult for him to feed himself because of his shaking hands. And he can't hold his cards to play his favorite game with his wife, which is poker. And lately he's become defensive when Scarlett has tried to help him because he's fearful of losing that independence. He does not want to go into a nursing home. Now Scarlett is losing herself in her caregiving duties. She often feels like a mom, not a wife, and she is neglecting herself because she is so afraid of leaving him alone. So she is missing doctor's appointments, and her blood pressure is elevating because of the stress of caregiving. So, there's a story. And there's one more picture. There they are. So can we help? We can. We get calls like this one all the time, whether it's a son caring for a daughter, or a son caring for a mom or a dad, or a spouse or a person themselves calling for help. So our first program that I will run through very quickly is called Home and Community-Based Services. That's what HCBS stands for. It's for those who are 60 and older, and it's funded by the Older Americans Act. The AAAs were born when the Older Americans Act was formed. So these are the services that are provided. We are most known for Meals on Wheels. That's what we're most known for. So you call us for that. Congregate Meals is senior centers. We fund the majority of the senior centers in our area, including the one locally. Homemaker is like it sounds, help with housework, laundry, running errands, personal care, help with bathing, grooming, dressing. Adult daycare is housed in the senior centers. We do have one here. It's for those who need the socialization, but they need more hand-holding, need help feeding, they may be incontinent, they just need more monitoring. And then respite care is what Scarlett desperately needed. It's a break. It's someone to sit with her loved one so that she could do what she needed to do. Go to the doctor, go for a walk, get a manicure, just do something for herself to reduce that stress. The next program, I'll go over really fast, is the Elderly Disabled Waiver Program. It used to be called Community Care. Now, most people, including Scarlett and Rhett, automatically didn't think they were eligible for it because it's Georgia's Medicaid waiver program. What happened was Georgia figured out that it was cheaper to keep people at home than it was to pay for them in the nursing home every month. So they created this waiver so that, because people wanted to stay home and they wanted to honor that, and they would save money by doing it, let's be real. So they created this program, and it could provide a lot of the same service that I just mentioned, but it could provide more of it. So they could come every day if you need it. It's very person-centered. And as you can see, they do help pay for assisted living facilities, but you have to go to an approved assisted living facility. We have several in the 9-county region. There's not any in Brunswick at this time that I know of. I will mention this too. Structured family caregiving is brand new. It's only been out for a few months, and that is a caregiver can get paid to take care of their loved one. So if you're related and you're living in the home with your mom or your spouse, well, not your spouse, you can't be married, so Scarlett and Rhett couldn't do that. But if it's like a mom or a dad or a brother or whoever it is, and you're living in there, you could get paid. Medicaid will now pay you to take care of them. So you have to get on this program to do it, but it is now an option. I'm going to talk really fast about eligibility. There's really only 3 ways you cannot be eligible for this program. One is you don't meet nursing home level of care because they want to keep you out of the nursing home, so you have to meet nursing home level of care. 2, if you are not 65 years old, you have to be deemed disabled by Social Security to get on this program. And 3, if you're over in resources, you are not eligible. Now, the income, how they get around those rules is if you're single, your income is over $783 a month, then there will be a monthly fee or a cost share for the service. And you pay, it works like a deductible, you pay up to that, and then the Medicaid kicks in and pays the rest for you. Now you do get full Medicaid as a benefit, so it may help offset some medical costs. If you're married, $3,943.50. I don't know where the 50 cents comes from, but it's there. If you're under that, there's no fee. That's what that means. If you're over that, there would be a fee. You would not, like, people would think they wouldn't be eligible because if they're over that. But they are. So, resources, this is anything like one home place and a vehicle is excluded. This would be like CDs, money in checking, money markets, savings accounts, any car, over the one, and $2,000 for a single person, and that has never changed in 13 years. I don't know why. The couple limit goes up every single year. It's now $128,640. So if you're under that, then you'll be eligible for the program. Sorry, that's a lot of information. I'm trying to move fast for you. All right, so a lot of people have heard of estate recovery. And I did the picture because that's what everyone visualizes whenever I say estate recovery. So Georgia was the 49th state to issue estate recovery. Sonny Perdue did it into law. He did not want to do it. So he left some loopholes for us. So those loopholes are, if you are married like Scarlett and Rhett, they owned a condo, then that you can transfer your property into your spouse's name, and there's no penalty for doing that. And estate recovery doesn't apply. If you're a daughter or a son and you've been caring for your loved one for 2 years or longer, and a doctor would say that if not for you, they'd be placed in a nursing home, you can also do this. So what a lot of people do though, if neither one of those loopholes applies to them, is they transfer their property anyway, and then apply for Medicaid. And what DFACS does is they will say, they'll call you on the phone and they'll say, you transferred property, transfer it back. You say no. When you say no, that little $6,175, that is what it costs national average for a nursing home stay. That is how much the state is paying per person in the nursing home. So they divide it by that and they get a number. So if your house or CD or whatever it was valued at $30,000, you would have to wait 5 months before you could get on a Medicaid program. So that's basically how you would do it. Assistive technology. Okay, so we actually set a precedent in Georgia. We were the first to do this. For home and community-based services, our funding is limited. So we decided to try to stretch those dollars further. So people called us on the phone and said, I need someone to come help me with a bath. And we said, why? And they said, because I'm scared of falling, I can do it. Then we started providing the assistive technology devices that they can do it themselves that Medicare does not cover. So like in this picture, shower chairs, handheld showers, long-handled brushes. And providing that one time saves us money versus, spending an aide to go in there every single week for $20 an hour. So we started doing this. It has been widely successful. The whole state has adopted it now. So, and I will show you just some fun little examples as far as Rhett and Scarlett goes. So he couldn't play his cards anymore. So assistive technology can be as simple as this. And I gave him a royal flush because why not? but just a card holder. So it could be as simple as this. Everyone thinks of these advanced technologies when I say assistive technology, but it could be just as simple. He shakes, he has tremors, so a weighted spoon or silverware would work really great, helps them stay independent to feed themselves. This one he probably could have used his entire life, seeing as he was colorblind. This is also for low vision, and I wore colors on purpose today. So, and sometimes it says orange, sometimes it says pink, but if you want to play with it, you can. And what this button does is also for low vision and blind. The closer you are to light, the higher the sound. So, if you want to see that, you can. And then for Scarlett, I do this a lot for caregivers. We give them drop cans so she can leave. Rhett could be left home alone. He wasn't in danger, so he could have been. So a lot of times we'll give caregivers drop cans so they can check in on their loved ones and do what they need to do without worrying. You can talk to them on these. So you could come on, you could talk to them, and have a whole conversation if you wanted to. And then I always include this one, even though it has nothing to do with the story. This is a pocket talker. And I've had people with hearing aids say they prefer this over the hearing aid. So you put it on, you turn it on, you adjust the volume, and it'll focus on the person that you're pointing the microphone to. So it drowns out the other sound around it, is what it does. So that's it. So this is an example of assistive technology and the kind of things that we help with. And we did a whole lab. I always said they moved us to jail when they moved us to Darien because they moved us to the old youth detention center, and we turned one of the pods into a studio apartment. So it's full of all kinds of assistive technology devices to give you ideas of how to age in place, how to help your loved ones stay independent. We do tours. There's someone there every single Thursday if you ever want to come visit. So we are in Darien. So you come off the exit 49, turn left. We're about 1.5 miles down the road on the right. Past the sheriff's department and past the jail, if you know what the jail is.
Right on 17.
Yes,
Right on
ma'am.
17.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. We have a robot too. So I put Brett's face up there. We have a telepresence robot. So you would have to have an iPad. You could control this with an iPad. So anyone have a guess as to how much that telepresence robot is? $2,749 as of today. Yeah, we do all of our shopping on Amazon, by the way, so we buy all of our stuff. I'll quickly run through this for time, but I do case management. I often say that I'm a guide. So I help you navigate these systems. I help you when you're overwhelmed. Like Scarlett was very, very overwhelmed. There's no way she could have done it herself. So I did more hand-holding, helped guide her through. I also help people if they can't do phone assessments. I do face-to-face assessments in person. And we do high risk. So homeless, don't have food, my lights are being cut off, those types of things. Those all warrant case management referrals to me. I also do all the meal assessments. So if you do Meals on Wheels in Brunswick and McIntosh, you will see me. I will enroll you. And then I see you every year after that. Care transitions. We've been doing this one for a while. We have partnered with the hospital. So we transition high-risk people home from the hospital. So I would make sure home health got started, they have all their medicines, they have doctor's appointments, transportation to doctor's appointments, and I put an aide in there for 30 days to help them. REACH, I do this one too. That is for people who are caring for someone with dementia, and maybe they're repeating themselves a lot, or they're wandering, and you don't know what to do, or you can't get them to take a bath. I do 6 months one-on-one counseling and coaching to try to help you change behaviors, to help you learn how to cope better through stress management techniques, help you know what type of dementia that they have and what their prognosis is for that. Managed care is new. We are partnered with Blue Cross Blue Shield. We do assessments for them if they've had a lot of recent claims, and we link them to community resources. And our No Wrong Door grant is also new. You have to have a dementia diagnosis, and we have like a pot of money that we can use to put certain things in. I've ordered services, sent someone to adult daycare. I've even ordered incontinence supplies and insure. So it's very person-centered. This is real quick. Georgia had a push to get people out of nursing homes. People had gotten stuck. And so they did a push a few years back to transition to people who could get home, because the nursing home gets your check. So if you don't have family support, you can't pay deposits for an apartment. You can't, pay the deposits for electric bills. So Georgia paid those for people. They transitioned 500 people out of nursing homes across the state, and they continue to do so today. So they have done good work in that area. Now, because Rhett is a veteran, I decided I would talk about this for just a minute in case you didn't know. The VA deems everyone 100% disabled at the age of 65. It does not matter if you have a disability related to your years of service. So there's 2 programs, and I had a gentleman just the other day. I was there for his wife, and he went and applied for Homemaker Home Health Aid, and he already has it. You apply locally. You have to need help with your personal care. That's the caveat. But the doctor locally will say that you need it, and then Kendra, the social worker, can order it for you. It's not a lot of care. It's usually about 6 hours a week. And then improved pension or aid in attendance is a little harder to get and takes longer. You have to be eligible for a pension to get aid in attendance, but it is basically a stipend to pay for your in-home care. It can be quite a bit for veterans. It could be up to $2,000, and it's for widows of veterans as well, and that could be up to $1,000. So if you qualify for that. And then I thought really quick, I'd tell you some numbers. So these are the top 5 calls that we get. Fiscal year 2019, our fiscal years run from July 1st to June 30th. So this is July 1st, 2018 to June 30th of 2019. And not surprisingly, our number 1 request, the calls that we get, is Meals on Wheels. That's what we're known for. But here's the other 4. For case management, the number 1 calls that I get are housing-related issues or affordable housing and transportation. We do have a waiting list for that Older Americans Act funding. This is it. In Blaine County, we do not have a wait for the adult daycare or the senior center. You could just go up there. And for meals, we have 20. There was 30. I pulled 10 off last month. 34 for homemaker, 17 for personal care, none for respite, and 1 for reach. So we do try to keep the list low. We try to keep it where they get service in at least a year. So that's how we try to keep our wait list. And this is the amount of people we served in fiscal year 2019. This is unduplicated. So some clients got Meals on Wheels and help with personal care. This is unduplicated, only counting them once. We served 2,580, but 1,490 of that is from senior centers. We serve a lot of people through our senior centers. And last but not least, this is how many people we serve through our assistive technology lab, 144, and we kept 78 people off our waiting list by doing that in the last year alone. And that's it. Try to make it quick, sorry.
I wanted to leave a little time for questions.
Okay.
Maybe have about 10 minutes at most.
Anybody?
I have a question.
Sure.
I'll be the runner. I'll get the question and then I'll get that.
Try.
Hi, my name's Melinda, and I have a family I'd like to refer to you
Yes.
ASAP. And so are y'all open like every day during office hours?
We are open, okay, so you can get us like
Sorry.
Okay. Okay, so you can get us Monday through Friday, but our in-office hours have changed. I work 7:30 to 5:30 Monday through Thursday. Most everyone else does 7 to 5:30 or 7 to 6. But you can still call on Fridays and get through from 8 to 5.
Where is the senior center located?
It's on I Street. It's right behind where Burroughs Millette was, literally right behind. So.
Hi, Tori.
Hi.
So my life partner is a stroke victim and has dementia, increasingly worse. And he's in assisted living, and I have private caregivers for him. He keeps falling out of bed because he thinks he can get up and walk.
Okay.
So I'm told I can't have rails on the bed. I can't have a bed alarm. I can't have a camera in the room. I can't. So I don't know what to do, because we raise the head of his bed, we raise the feet, we wrap his feet up with a sheet and tell him not to fall out of bed, but he falls out of bed on a pretty regular basis. So why all these restrictions, and is it true what I'm being told?
I don't think it's true. I was about to say it sounds really fishy to me.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Not good system.
I don't think it's true. That's just too many restrictions. Because assistive technology, you should be able to use that. So I'll have to find out because I don't know for sure. But I'll ask, but that just sounds wrong to me. So because I've known other assisted livings that people have put cameras in, like nanny cams. So maybe they don't know they're doing it, but I'll have to ask and find out. So I'm not sure.
Hi, my name is Marie. I wanted to know, is there a senior center on St. Simon's Island? And if not, why not?
There's not. There's not one on St. Simon's. Someone has to be willing to start it. We do fund them. The county is talking about opening one now. The city owns the one on I Street. The county's been talking about it, but they've been talking about it more on the Blythe Island side of things. And they talked to, so if someone was interested in opening one, they would talk to us about it to see about getting funding. Because we have a lot of funding, but not right now. It's because we let other.
How long do you think the whole thing will take before they actually get one on St. Simon's?
Probably a while because no one's talking.
5 to 10 years?
Yeah, because no one's talking about it right now. We have tried to find people in the past, but it's hard. I don't know why the county, who's over the county? The county should consider over there instead of, maybe I'll put that bug in their ear, in my superior's ear, about where to locate it.
I asked because we have friends who go to Amelia Island, an hour south from here, and they have a wonderful senior center, and it offers courses, and it has a van, and it has all these different things. And we have nothing here. When we're back in Rhode Island, we have a senior center with free courses and all kinds of things. So it kind of bothers me that there's no senior center on St. Simon's.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'd agree with you. There needs to be one over there.
Well, you could start that.
I
You
know,
could
I
go to
know.
the council or whatever.
Or talk to the county about it, because
Yeah,
they're already
go
talking
there.
about doing it. So they could open it over on St. Simon's instead of Blythe Island. So someone must have talked to them about Blythe Island. I bet it's not a done deal. They're just trying to make decisions. So you could always talk to the county and see.
The county,
Yeah, the county, they would be over there. Because they're already thinking about opening one, is what I'm saying. So kind of put that bug in. If enough people said something, they'd probably step forward and do it. So.
Can you tell me more about the REACH program? Is it for the person with dementia or is it for the caregiver? Do they have to have a formal diagnosis first, et cetera, et cetera?
Okay. It's for the caregiver, and they do not have to have a formal diagnosis. Just suspected, or if they're having a lot of memory loss and there's a lot of behaviors that are bothersome, driving you crazy, safety things, then you would be eligible. So
How do you access?
call me because I do it. So.